So a big night for Isaiah Likely, a big night in fantasy for Lamar Jackson because honestly, just the rushing.
Ridiculous.
122 rushing yards and a touchdown. Matthew, it felt like Lamar wasn't even sliding in this game. He was running into contact. I don't know if he's going to run like this all year. There was just a different edge to him in this game, I thought.
We were talking about it last night. Me and all the football night crew were just like, and the common refrain was like, he's not going to be able to make it through the season if he keeps running like that. He's not sliding. One of the things that was very noticeable in the pregame, we're on the field and we're watching them warm up, and Lamar's out there without pads. He's just warming up in sweat, and we're like, wow, he's lost weight. He looks great, but he's thin.
Looks more faster than ever, I thought.
Faster than ever, and he's talked about this. I think he lost 20 pounds in the offseason, and so, which is great. I mean, he looked very spry out there, obviously, and looked great running. But also, if you keep taking all those hits, when you're already a smaller framed quarterback, and then you've lost 20 pounds, and you're taking hit after hit from linebackers, and you get nervous about can he last the entire season?
Yeah, and I haven't seen those Lamar spin moves since 2019, what he was doing, and I'm not sure if it might be kind of a problem that he feels so spry, that he feels confident to make all these moves and to do all this. I would regress, though, to the idea that this was week 1, opening night against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in Arrowhead. The team just knocked him out and kind of embarrassed him in the AFC title game to an extent. And he was like, I'm treating this like the Super Bowl. I don't think he's going to run the ball 16 times against the Raiders next week.
Look at the presser we showed during yesterday's show. It was very intense.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson's usually a pretty upbeat, you know. He was locked in and saying, there was a different edge to this game.
Yeah.
And I think it's great for fantasy. I don't know if it's sustainable in terms of the NFL
He can't
season.
play like that. He can't play like that all season. He won't survive, to your point.
Yeah, and I think so he did two things that I think were pretty interesting, which were, number one is he was quick to tuck it and run last night. The other thing, he was quick to dump off to Justice Hill. And we got to get to the running game here for a second, but that was surprising. It just felt like it felt like at quick glance, I don't know if you guys felt the same way, that he quickly bailed out of his progressions to dump off the ball. I mean, Chris Jones had a field day. The line dominated. The Chiefs' defensive line dominated the Ravens' offensive line. He was on pressure quickly, but Lamar is so quick and so good at avoiding pressure that it felt like he just bailed to dump off to Justice Hill quicker than I feel like we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and John Harbaugh talked up the offensive line, which I think more just to give them confidence more than anything. I think there was, from the Ravens side, the biggest tell to me was their game plan and the fact that Lamar, I think in the first half, air yards per pass was 1. It was insanely low. And the fact that they didn't believe that they could hold up against the Chiefs D-line. And look, Chris Jones, Cole Aftis has gotten better. It's a good D-line. It's not like they're going up against Myles Garrett or Micah Parsons, D-lines of the Browns or the Cowboys.
TJ Watt twice?
Yeah, exactly. So that is a concern, and I think it bodes poorly for the running game, which we're going to talk about.
In the NFL, you just don't see
But might bode
teams,
well for Justice Hill, who's likely going to be on the waiver wire show next Tuesday.
You don't see teams rotate at right tackle a lot. They're putting their rookie Roger Rosengarten in.
I assume McCarr was hurt.
That's not an NFL thing, and they seemed keen on trying that with a lot of new starters on this unit. Give them time to settle in. But I agree with you, Matthew. I mean, Justice Hill benefited from that greatly. He outscores Derrick Henry because he caught 6 passes for 52 yards, while Henry got the touchdown, but he only had 46 rushing yards.
Yeah, it's always a concern. I thought they would try to lean on the run game a little bit more. The Chiefs struggled against the run last year as well. And, again, the thing with Derrick Henry is that you have to, he only got 14 carries in this game. Derrick Henry needs 20. If you're in the Derrick Henry business, that's the idea is that trying to tackle him in the first quarter is very different than trying to tackle him in the fourth. And so you need a guy. That's the point of Derrick Henry. It's just you're going to wear the defense down. You're going to wear the defense down. Now, maybe the focus on Henry is what opened up some of the running lanes for Lamar Jackson. I mean, they were able to move the ball, but specifically Derrick Henry, he has traditionally been somewhat game script dependent because he's not a big part of the passing game. And so when it's a neutral game script, when a team is leading, great, you're just able to run, sort of at will. But when you're trailing, it's harder. I was encouraged by a couple of things. I was encouraged by the fact that he does score the touchdown. I was encouraged by the fact they actually threw the ball to him a couple times. They didn't connect any of those, but the fact that if he's going to get 3 to 4 targets a game, like I think he got 3 targets. I don't have the box score in front of me, but I think he got 2. Okay, but like 2's more than you would have predicted at the beginning of the year. Like, okay.
Right.
Like he played less than 50% of the snaps and he got 2 targets. Like, okay. Can we get that up to 3 or 4 a game? And like he catches a couple of those? Like, that would be great.
Yep. A couple of weeks ago, I had a bet on Derrick Henry to win Offensive Player of the Year at 80-1, just because I thought he's going to lead the league in touchdowns. He'd be my favorite for that. New offense, just variance, him playing with Lamar as the cheat code, pulling him out of the box. Second snap of the season, Justice Hill comes in for second down, bet's already dead. Like, I just know instantly. Like, I was hoping that Henry would be more like 60, 65% of the snaps. He's not. And so it's just a narrower kind of path for him to provide value. Now, there are going to be better game script games. They were trailing pretty much the whole game. But it's going to get better for Derrick Henry. But I don't think he's going to return like top 4, top 5 RB value if Justice Hill's going to be playing every third down, basically.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, though. I mean, again, but in a game in which he played less than 50% of the snaps and that the Ravens' offensive line was getting dominated and they were losing. They were down from basically minute 1.
Double-digit fantasy points still.
They still got you double digits of fantasy points.
Wasn't a dud of a night. Like a absolute killer of a night.
You wake up, you'd rather have Derrick Henry on your team this morning than Mark Andrews.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yep,
or Travis Kelce. Just as like we're talking about big stars. Like, I mean, he had a better game than either of those two guys. So maybe it's because I have Derrick Henry in the League of Assholes.
In the PPR League of Assholes.
In the PPR League
Took over
of Assholes.
Pacheco.
Maybe I'm trying to talk myself into it. I'm locked in a battle with Big Show, by the way.
I know.
We're all cheering for you.
Our show researcher, Big Show. His name's Cris, but we all call him Big Show.
He's Big Show.
So I'm in a battle with Big Show here for week 1, and Derrick Henry is on my team.
I'm looking at Big Show right now. He's licking his lips.
But I also
he just did the cutthroat.
I also have Rashee Rice in that league, so I'm feeling good about that.
I don't like that.
That's a good start for you.
Good start. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.